What that means then is that the gelatin's not going to thicken up all that fast, but you can already see it's starting to thicken up fast. It doesn't take much for the gelatin. Once it starts to cool down, you'll start getting a slightly lumpy texture to it. And that's because of the gelatin just starting to thicken a bit. Once it cools and you get it into the refrigerator, it'll fully set. While that's going, I'm going to work a little fast here. I've got a little bit of Myers rum. I want to get a little bit of flavor of something in there, so it's going in the whipped cream.
How whipped is your cream when you add that?
How whipped? I've got it as soft at this point.
What's your flavor in here?
The great thing about that is the rum is fresh. It's not cooked out, so it's going to taste really good. Now, the base. It's already thickening up. It's already starting to get lumpy. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this in about half of it first. I'm just going to go ahead and start folding this into the cream. The cream is cold, so the gelatin will start to thicken rather quickly once you get the cream in there. The rest of it in there. I suddenly ramp up my speed when I'm working with this stuff because I know how fast it can change. Just like some of you discovered how fast lumps can form in creme anglaise.
Yeah.
You know, the gelatin will surprise you too, how quickly it works. Okay, at that point, when your Bavarian is done, when you got it all folded together, it's time to dispense it in whatever you're going to be dispensing it into. So that's part of your mise en place as well. I've already got some of these little containers out. I figure I'll just put some in these and put it in the fridge to set.
So instead of actually like putting a coffee flavor in the base, could you just put the coffee flavoring in the whipped cream and then just mix it together and it'd be coffee flavored?
You could,
okay.
Yeah. Now the coffee flavoring is pretty easy to work with. And it'll go into whipped cream just fine because it's a liquid. But there are some things you guys use for flavoring that wouldn't do that very easily. You'll also notice I pre-whipped the cream part of the way. I got it up to about soft. And then I decided to put the rum in there. At that point, it doesn't require much. And I didn't want the rum to flatten my whipped cream. If rum goes in there, alcohol can have a detrimental effect on things. And it's just because it's harsh. You know, it's harsh stuff. Now, when you're working with Bavarian, a lot of times you'll be dispensing this into different types of containers. When I'm working with Bavarian, sometimes I'll make a pyramid out of it or a demi-sphere, and I'll dispense it quickly into those things, and then I get that in the freezer so they harden up. Yeah, let's leave it at that. If you guys want to taste this. I know some of you are underage, so...
What's this?
You're underage. You're underage.